April 9th.
Okay. Okay, I will start the meeting by welcoming everybody to the March meeting, March 25th, 2024, meeting of the Irvington Architectural Review Board. Before we start, I want to welcome a new ARB board member, An Amin. Did I say that right?
Okay.
Okay, so An is going to be with us as a first alternate. As you can see, we're short right now, so he's on full service right now. Okay, we have no continuations, revisions, or anything else that's old, so we will start right away with new matters. We will start with ARB 2024-12, Mambo Italiano awning.
If you're here to represent the applicant, the application, if you please hit the raise hand button.
In addition to that, please be ready to share your computer screen with your application. All right.
Nobody's raising their hand.
Okay. All right, we'll put that on hold and go to the next application, which is ARB 24-13, 21 Beechwood Road fence. We see someone named Eddie Lai, but you're muted.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we are planning to put a fence around the perimeter of the backyard of 21 Beechwood. And it's gonna
Okay.
be a 4-foot aluminum black fence.
Did you have the ability to share your application? Show us the materials you sent in?
I'm not able to pull up the application.
There, please. Let's see if we can get it up. Could you scroll up, please, Sarah?
Scroll up. I scrolled by through all the building permit application.
Okay.
Site photos.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, do you want to describe what we're looking at here?
Yeah, so those are the fence sections there. It's a 4-foot high aluminum fence, same style. And I don't know if you can see the pictures of the backyard. I think it's above of the property. Basically, it's going to run along the driveway and then wrap around the backside of the backyard and connect to the existing chain link black fence of the neighbor's property.
You scroll up, Sarah? Up or down?
Scroll down. If you want me to.
Yeah, now you gotta go up.
What would you like to see?
The where the fence is, the site plan.
Yeah, so the driveway on the right side of the property, it's gonna basically run from the garage to the property line and wrap around to the the back of the backyard, and then that fence that you can see towards the back is the neighbor's chain link fence. It'll basically run to that point.
So you have two gates or three?
Two.
You have a double gate near the house, and then on the other side of the house, you have another gate, single gate,
Yes.
also a double gate.
4-foot gate.
Okay. Okay. Could you go back to the actual gates that or the all right, so that is that your no, that's on the spec sheet. I'm just trying to get an idea of what you've shown us is actually going to be the actual gates. I guess we need to go up a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the actual gate is gonna be the straight section there. That's basically the style. The gate
Okay.
part is gonna be, it's not gonna have the arch, it's gonna be straight.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Okay. You've answered all my questions. Does anybody have a question?
If you can go back to the plan view again. So this house appears to have the driveway and the side where the mailbox is at is, you show the fence going all the way to the street. Is that correct?
No, it's gonna be on at the property line. I know the property line set back a little bit. So that where that is set back from the curve from the street, the outlining.
Okay, that's curved part.
Yeah, the curb, where it's highlighted, that's gonna be where the fence is, gonna be, because I know that that's the, right of way for the city.
Right. And then the north-south section is on the property line or
Is that, the back property line of the backyard?
the one that, if you're looking at the drawing, that the line that's going north-south.
Okay, yes, that's on the property line.
Okay. And then you're just gonna make a slight left turn and stop at the existing fence?
Yeah, for some reason, the neighbor's, fence doesn't go all the way to his property line, so we're just gonna basically close it in.
And then from the property line that's going east-west down to the house.
Yes, that's, at the property line.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your question.
No. So normally the fence projects out to the front of the house and kind of stops there, and then there's a front yard with no fence facing the street. This house is got the side, the front and the side are facing the street. You know, that's a street there on the bottom right.
Yes.
So this is going to be the only house on the block with a fence jutting all the way out to the street. It just seems like it's going to look very odd.
So to the right is not a street. That's another bordering property there. Because that's at a dead end, and that's the cul-de-sac where the rounded portion is by the driveway.
But essentially, that's somebody's front yard. So you're
No,
pulling-
no,
not?
that's it's that property there is a flag lot, so their driveway runs along, not along that property line. It runs parallel to that their driveway, and the house is situated sideways on the lot. It's a little different setup.
I know we have pictures there. Let's take a look at the pictures.
Oh, but you want to see the site book?
Yeah, yeah. Yep, go back. All right.
Yeah, so you could see that house It's like a flag lot that's kind of behind the house, but because it's in a cul-de-sac, the driveway is alongside of the house.
Okay. So that's where the fence would come out, like from the house corner to that light post.
Are we speaking to the owner or who?
Yes.
We are, okay.
Oh,
Did you,
yes.
did you speak to the neighbor about this?
No, I wasn't aware that I had to.
Don't
Well,
have
no,
to.
you don't have to. It's just, this is a very odd situation because the way I see it, you're pulling a fence into their front yard. It looks like a front yard to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a front yard. The second picture, that's the side of their house. That's not the front of their house. So, the bottom picture, I don't know if you could see, that's the driveway for their house, and that runs to the front of their house, which faces completely away from 21 Beechwood.
So that's taken, that picture's being taken from behind the dumpster.
Yeah, that's a picture from the backyard of 21 Beechwood.
No, I really am hesitant about this. Because the fence is coming all the way out. There's not a single fence on this entire block that comes out to the road.
That's kind of what I'm not understanding, because we're not coming out to the road. It's gonna be set back, whatever the city's property line would be. It is set back behind the mailbox, I believe.
So from the street and your driveway, it's going right to the edge of your driveway, right? Or,
No, it's gonna be
Oh.
set back to the property line. The property line, I believe, is several feet back from the curb. If you could see on the survey.
right, just see if there's any pictures up and then go back to the survey, please.
So this top picture here, this is the front street level of the house. You could see that the grade drops down a little bit. The home is set lower than the street.
Mhm.
So we're not wrapping the fence around the entire property on the street level. It would just be just for the backyard.
Yeah, I'm talking about the other side of the house. So you have the front of your house faces the street, the side of your house faces the circle,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So you're pulling a fence all the way out to the circle.
Yeah, well, to the amount that it's allowed to the property line. So it wouldn't be to the curb. It would be set back. It's basically just to contain the uh two kids and
Citizen.
a dog within the backyard, for safety.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you could see it from the survey there. It's set back a lot more from the curb.
Yeah, I'm looking on Google Earth on my phone here, so
Okay.
it's quite a different view than the photos. So when I'm standing in front of your house and I look to the right, I'm looking at the other house, but then there's going to be a fence now pulled in front of that all the way out to the circle. I don't know what did we do on that other house on the corner lot one? Didn't they try to pull it all the way out?
They were on the property line.
They went all the way out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I know
That's what we have.
a few of the other houses on that block do have their backyard, like the neighboring house. They have their backyards completely fenced in. So I think that it would be pretty uniform with the street.
I'm not so sure of that. I mean, this does come all the way to the front of the house, which isn't in and of itself a problem. It's just you know, if it was a solid fence, I would also have issue with it because of, you know, blocking view from the other house. But as far as, you know, the intent of the fence is to, you know, encapsulate your backyard, such as it is to allow for, you know, security, I guess. I don't, because of the style of fence, I'm not taking issue with it. I don't know whether anybody else is gonna take issue with it, but at this point,
I think the precedent is we did this once.
yeah. We have any questions, concerns?
No.
Okay. All right, that having been said, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We, are we talking Mambo Italiano?
I apologize for
That's all right.
yeah, but she refused my connection.
His name was,
Listen, at this point, I don't know if I can blame him.
his name showed up as admin and I wasn't sure if that was him or not.
She
All right.
thought we were hacking. this.
We will go, you wouldn't be the first one. At this point, we'll go back to 24-12, 100 Main Street awning Mambo Italiano. I guess because
I'm gonna be sharing this.
Yeah.
This.
this is a no-brainer, in my opinion,
It's
a
a
no-brainer.
simple change of awning. We literally just changed, put in the logo and the name
Mhm.
on the same frame, same awning, same colors.
Yeah.
You approved this a couple of months ago, I think.
Yep.
So.
Well, we approved the other
Right.
the other sign, and this is actually less
Less
No,
crowded.
less crowded. Can you show us the old one? I think it's
Yeah.
once, yeah. That's it. So that was the old awning, or the two old awnings, and essentially we're just replacing the verbiage on the same black, white lettering, black background, white lettering. You can go back down to the other one, please, Sarah. That's it. So that's the new restaurant name, and as I said, we asked that we try to get a two-color scheme, the background and the lettering colors. Seem to have done that. I don't have any issues. Anybody?
No.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I thank you so much.
You're good to go.
Including Sarah.
Even though she did throw you out.
Thank you very
I
much.
didn't let him know.
I admire. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Take it easy.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
You too. All right, moving on. ARB 24-14. 126 Rudder Dubois Lane. It's a deck. Okay.
Hello,
Can hear you.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Werner Pollack. I'm the owner at 126 Rudder Dubois, and we have an application to replace an existing back deck. And the existing back deck has been in place since 1987 when we moved in, and it has a little wear and tear, so we have decided to replace it with Trex Transcend. And I've retained Diversified Plus Construction to do the construction work. And we hired Michael Figueroa, the architect, to do a drawing in order to have the new supports for the new deck. The deck is the same size as the original, but since it's a new deck, the decision was that we needed a drawing in order to have the new supports complying with the new laws. And Mike should be on the phone here as well.
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you, Mike. And so the deck is going to be as I said, Trex Transcend.
Before
The
you go
color
on,
is the
Before
color.
you go on, do you have the ability to share the application on your computer?
I apologize, but I don't. I submitted all the drawings. And I don't even have the large drawings that were asked to be submitted. I gave them all to Miss Berger.
Once again, from Sarah. All right, there we go. All right,
So
my
the,
first question is,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead,
No,
make your presentation.
I was just going to finish by saying that the color is going to be by Strom. The railing will also be Trex Transcend. It's going to be white color, and there will be an exterior apron, which will also be Trex Transcend Spice Drum color for the rim board.
Okay.
Yeah. And since I'm in Field Point, it had to be approved by the architectural committee of the FCA.
And I know that it has, because I've seen the documentation to that effect.
Yes.
All right, what else we have on it, Sarah?
Mike Picarillo is the architect that we retained in order to
Okay.
produce the drawing. Yes.
Okay. All right, so is that the similar to the railing that's gonna be there?
Yes, that is exactly correct.
Correct.
Okay. And down below, I believe you have the color circled or noted.
Yeah, I do. That is correct. Spiced rum.
A little bit more, a little bit, there we are. Okay, and that's the second to the bottom color, I believe.
It corrected again.
All right, I want to roll. I went through it with a fine tooth comb. I didn't see any other issues or any issues, frankly. Any issues?
No.
No. Anything you saw? Okay. All right, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, you're good to go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna get into the little more complicated ones. Moving on to ARB 24-15, 15 Hendricks Lane South. An addition. Mr. Vetrano, you're muted.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me now?
You can, thanks.
Thank you very much. My name is Gene Vetrano. I'm representing Dr. and Mrs. Luthra. I'm with Mimo Design and Site Design Consultants. I will let you know that we have appeared before the planning board. We have had site plan approval. We've also appeared before ZBA since there were some coverage issues that were never properly documented. We have documented those on a revised site plan, and now we have been referred to the Board of Architectural Review. So they have drafted a resolution granting us the zoning variances. So with
Right.
that being said, let me figure out how to share my screen. You'll have to bear with me. I'm a bit of a dinosaur here. Apps.
See the icons on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, can you still see me or no?
We can still see you. You're not sharing yet.
Just trying to find the bottom of the screen where, hold on. No, for some reason I cannot see the
I'll just share.
Just, all right.
share the screen because I have photographs for you also, as well as a
All right, that's you, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got it up for you.
All right, I do have photographs. What I wanted to do was first zoom in on the aerial photo, which is down in the lower left. Right there, Sarah, on that screen. If you could zoom in again, I apologized. I don't know why I cannot.
Okay,
So I just wanted to explain the location. The Luthra's home is on Hendricks Lane South, which is the last cul-de-sac off of Half Moon. There are 3 homes on that cul-de-sac. And as you could see by the location, his home is tucked fairly well back into his property. East of him is the Columbia property. There's a home north that's about 600 feet away. Then there's a home to the west, which sits down at a lower elevation, closer to the river. And the home south of him is blocked again by high foliage. The sunroom is proposed to be on the north elevation of Dr. Luthra's home.
okay.
Now, if you want to go to, Sarah, if you want to go to the next screen, and again, I have so many photos to show you.
What would you like me to share?
One down.
You know what? Hold on. Let's see. Share more. Share screen. Sarah, I think I found it.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. I found it. Thank you very much. I apologize.
No problem.
Can you see the screen yet or not?
Yes.
Your screen is sharing. So you can now see the aerial photo,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
So again, the sunroom is proposed to be right here. What I'll do now is I'll bring up some additional photos so you can see Dr. Luthra's property. This is the north elevation of his home. There's an existing deck there that we propose to remove. That deck is approximately 340, I apologize, 360 square feet. And the proposed sunroom will be within that footprint. The proposed sunroom is actually 18 square feet less than that footprint. We propose to remove this pellet door, install in its place a 10-foot pellet door, which is an exterior door, from the dining area in Dr. Luthra's home. We're also going to relocate this window, which is a 2nd-story bedroom. We're going to relocate it to the east so that we still maintain light and ventilation and egress. And we're going to match the pitch of the roof. The base wall of the sunroom, which I'll show you in a minute, will be the same vertical cedar siding, staying the same. The window units at the base of the sunroom, and again, let me get the photo. This is a typical sunroom. The base of the sunroom will be 18 inches high rather than this at 6 inches high. All of these windows will be Pella windows that are going to match the existing Pella windows in Dr. Luthra's home, as well as the transom windows. Let me go back. This is just an interior view to show you that we're going to try to match the archtop and the transoms. And again, this is the inside. The inside will all be stained. It's a southern yellow pine, which will be stained some probably pecan, even though it has nothing to do with the exterior, but just to show you the interior elevation. The room is going to be unheated. So it's a 3-season room. It will be unheated. So if we go back to the previous photograph, this door then will be an exterior door so that we remain a thermal, contain a thermal break between the sunroom and the dining area of the kitchen. Also, let me go. All right. So that's a partial front view. The sunroom now, again, will extend out here, and I'll show you the plans in a second. If we go back here, this is the view from the front of Dr. Luthra's home. But again, the cul-de-sac is down here, and you literally cannot see the front of his home from the cul-de-sac. So the sunroom will be hidden with this large planting, and it will be sitting right here. You could see the foliage behind it. And again, that goes up to the Columbia property. So you literally will not be able to see the sunroom from Columbia either. The windows are tinted, and they are all low E glazing. If I may, let me go to.
Those 2 lights going to remain?
Excuse me, sir?
The lights that were on either side of the door, are they gonna remain?
No, because now that will be within the sunroom. So I'll show you on the plan. We submitted the lighting, which is an ambient light, which was approved by the building department so that there's no, high lights outside of the sunroom that can disturb the neighbors. On the site plan, again, this is the location of the proposed sunroom. Columbia property, northern neighbor, westerly neighbor, southern neighbor. And again, here's another picture of the front of Dr. Luther's home. This is a view looking due east. So to see the foliage that will be blocking the sunroof from Columbia. This is a photograph looking due north. Again, foliage blocking the sunroof from his most northerly neighbors. And this is the proposed elevation of the sunroom. Again, this knee wall is 18 inches. It will be siding to match the home. All of these windows are Pella windows, matching the existing Pella windows in the home. This glazing is Four Seasons, low-E glazing, tinted. All of that cladding will be brown to match Pella. Again, this is the new 10-foot door we're putting from the kitchen into the sunroom. This is the ambient lighting we propose outside of the sunroom, and that's on the easterly wall. So again, behind us is all of that Columbia property, so that lighting should not interfere with them at all. The sunroom deck will remain the same elevation of the existing deck, which is, it ranges from 35 inches to 47 inches above the finished grade. The eave height off of the deck is 8 foot, 4.5 inches, and the ridge is at 15, 1.5 off the deck. So you can see here the window that we're going to relocate, again, to maintain light ventilation and egress, because you see the windows in the back, they do not meet egress because of the height of this sill. Other than that, if you have questions, I'd certainly be more than happy to answer.
Is it open
That's-
underneath the
That's
sunroom?
the deck, but the someone will be sitting again. These lights, these speakers, and this awning will obviously be removed because the sunroom is going to be right here.
I think the
And this
question was,
entire deck is coming down.
what's under the deck?
Under the deck now, it's nothing under the deck. There are piers there that are being removed. We're going to do all new structure because the deck will not support the new sunroom. So if I'll go back to the plan. So we propose 4 new piers, new framing, obviously. When we submit, we're going to put, again, in the back, it's only about 1 foot up. You can see that the grade drops. We'll put a screening on the bottom around the perimeter. And again, we'll match the stain from the stain of the existing home.
Okay. Any other questions?
See if I have anything else to add. Again, the deck we're removing is approximately 18 square feet larger than the proposed sunroom. It is going to be unheated. It's a 3-seasoned room.
Okay.
Yeah, gentlemen, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
It's
And I
all
believe
fine.
Dr. Luther is on this call also.
Okay, you've answered all my questions. I'll ask the board if they have any other questions. No?
No, looks good.
Yeah, I
Thank
think you did a nice job with this. I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're good to go. Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you so very much for your time. I appreciate it.
And Sarah. Okay, moving along to the next edition, ARB 24-16, 88 Fargo Lane.
Good evening, folks.
You doing?
My name is Mike Jacobs. I'm an architect with Jacobs Chang Architecture, and I'm here tonight on behalf of the owners at 88 Fargo, who purchased the property in 2023 and they would like to make some changes. So they've asked us to come in and help them design renovation to the house at the property. I'm going to share my screen now and just walk you through some visuals, and then I'm happy to jump onto any of the documents that we've submitted and answer any questions. Okay. So in terms of context, 88 Fargo Lane is nested in a neighborhood of single-family homes. As you can see in this aerial, 88 Fargo is situated kind of right in the middle of the photo, and you can see it's just there's a range of different types of single-family homes in the neighborhood of varied scale. As we move into the tax lot map, 88 Fargo is a flag lot. It's accessed at the north end of the property through an easement that comes from Fargo Lane. And this little flag is a kind of a shared community driveway which accesses 4 properties in this neighborhood: 84, 90, 92, and of course 88. And just for context, north is up, so the Hudson River is just past, the tracks are just past this tax map. And of course, the aqueduct is somewhere sort of tucked in just about here.
Okay.
I think we can see from this image also that the neighborhood has a range of different property scales. And of course, the houses themselves vary in style and in shape and size. So just a little bit of that context. As we move along Fargo Lane, this is 86 Fargo, which backs up to the southern portion of 88 Fargo, which is the open lawn. As we move a little further north, this house is at 84 Fargo Lane, which is adjacent to the community driveway, which you see here. And as we keep moving, a more contemporary home at 90 Fargo Lane on the other side of the shared driveway. And as we move to the back of the property, further west, is 92 Fargo, which is the house that's a little bit closer to the Hudson River. And then, of course, there's 88 Fargo Lane, which is the house in question. And what we know about this property, what we've been told, what we've learned is that this 2-story portion of the house was originally an outbuilding on a property, some sort of larger property in the neighborhood. Don't have an exact date on the build or when it was first constructed. But in 1954, the outbuilding was converted into a house. And it was at that time in that application where this 1-story addition was also proposed during that conversion. And that conversion included renovating the 2-story structure to make it a house. And then the addition had kind of a wide single-car garage, which you can see here, a modest kitchen, and a dining room. And then in addition to that, to the west of the property, and actually just kind of back in here, I'll zoom into that in a moment, is a concrete slab that was built at that time. And that covers a boiler room to provide heating equipment that feeds both the 2-story house and also the sort of 1-story volume as well. And so that's remained largely unchanged. These are some pictures just for context around the house. So as we move from the south looking sort of northeast, this of course is from the other corner looking southeast, and a little bit closer to the west side of the house, and of course the entry court. I apologize for the cropping as we approach and arrive at the house. And so what we've arrived at in terms of a design and a scope of work, this is an existing demo site plan. This is part of our planning and zoning approval. This here is the 2-story portion of the house. So as we look at this, north is to the right and west is up on the page. But what we're asking to do is demo the roof below the ridge line, but at the dormer line across both east and west side of that 2-story structure. This is where the concrete slab over the boiler room is located. That's right now pitching back towards this corner of the house. So we'd like to replace that with decking. This is a stone patio, which again is sort of not coplanar with the deck. So we would like to kind of remove the stone pavers and extend the deck partially over this area. And this is the one-story volume, which is accessed again from this driveway, which brings us in. And this driveway is going to basically remain unchanged. And this is the one-story portion of the house, which is then proposed to be a little bit further, positioned a little bit further to the south. So you can see this little square here at the intersection of the two volumes of the house. It just pulls them apart slightly. It's an architectural idea. And it extends our driveway slightly here. So that's about an 8-foot extension. This is the back deck. Now it's sort of coplanar, new shed dormers, front and back. And then this is the roof of the proposed addition. I don't think it's relevant to your board, but I wanted to include also that our FAR allowable that our proposed FAR is below the allowable, and our development coverage is also below the allowable. So we feel like very little impact in terms of the development coverage in the overall property. I'll run you quickly through demo. This is the existing floor plan. We're proposing a couple sort of modest changes. We feel modest on the old house, the original outbuilding, so expanding some of these openings a little bit at the front door. And then at the back, expanding some of the windows that now open sort of south towards the deck. This is the one-story portion of the house that's proposed to be removed. And so what that might look like in floor plan, very simple organization, essentially the same basic floor plan, just a little bit different in how the house works and operates. And the ground floor of the house, large of the 2-story volume, largely unchanged. As we move upstairs, this is a proposed demo of the second floor. One of the things we see here are these 3 sort of dormers on either east and west side of the roof line. These are the natural light that comes into each of these rooms on the second floor, and we would like to propose expanding the space of the dormer. So we're not coming up above the existing roof line, but we can see how some of these little dormers in plan don't really allow for much in terms of practical use. The windowsills are currently at about 30 inches off the floor, maybe a little bit less actually, 26. So it's very hard to furnish them with furniture in front of the windowsill. And it's also just very difficult to have a space like this that really is kind of towards the view of the water. And so the thought of expanding those footprints felt modest enough and perhaps appropriate. And so that's what this does to the second floor. The bedrooms perhaps have a little bit of a wider window facing the view. And then the bathrooms can get configured to perhaps be a little bit more functional than they are today. And so how might that look with an approval? On the left, we see the house as it is today with the addition on the right. A couple of things we're trying to think about as architects, trying to think about how these 2 volumes speak to one another. We're trying to kind of eliminate this condition here, which is maybe where a lot of geometry and roof come together, and kind of pull that apart slightly so that what you're seeing here, in this view at least, it's not perfectly clear, but as you can imagine, the 2 geometries kind of pulling apart slightly. And then as we look at it from the entry side, very similar condition here, trying to kind of maybe architecturally solve some of the things that are happening geometrically here in terms of the proposed and aligning some of the lines of the original structure with some of the lines of the new addition.
Did you reduce the size of the garage?
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Looks like did you reduce the size of the garage?
Yes,
right?
yes, sorry, yes, I didn't hear you first. Yeah, so the garage is now like a single car garage. I believe it's 12 by 18. I can look that up on the plan. It's been a while since we dimensioned it. But this is the existing garage. It's a little bit wider than we need. And so that some of that space is being given back to kitchen dining rather than garage. So yes, this is a little bit less wide than the existing garage.
Are all the windows being replaced?
Yes, yeah. And so I wanted to just spend a few seconds talking a little bit more forensically about the 2-story house and what we see when we're there. And so what we're seeing in these images is the current condition of the stucco on the outside of the house. The stucco is a very rough, kind of blown on stucco. Some people refer to it as popcorn stucco. I'm not sure of the technical word for it, but it's a very sort of rough grade texture. And over the years, there's evidence certainly of window replacements that you can see here. Some of the telltale signs are how they're positioned, you know, more coplanar, in some cases a little bit proud of the finish. So that's something, some of the things that seem visible, certainly in these upper windows and in this lower window here. And then, of course, you're seeing some indication of window replacement over the years in some of these other corners of the house. But I think the real purpose of these slides also is to maybe just fold into the conversation this idea that this building already has transformed from some adaptive reuse in the past. And when we really look at the stucco, we start to see, I know this is a kind of a dirt line from shutters, but you can see, I know it's all white. You can see with this pink line, some of the areas that show some of that history of where the old house was patched. And so it seems to me the evidence here is that the original structure was probably a stuccoed barn or outbuilding, and that as it became a house, some of the windows changed. And that's certainly evident in some of this stuff. And I can jump back and forth between some of these images. But as we move through, there's some nice detail in the back, an outdoor fireplace, which kind of backs up to the living room fireplace inside, and also the boiler room down below. So that's kind of a shared chimney. But again, you know, if you really look, if we start to look carefully, we can see evidence of some of these seams in the stucco where original and conversion were stitched together. This one's probably even a little bit more difficult to see. I apologize. It's very hard to capture white stucco in photographs, but essentially there's evidence across the entry side where there's sort of 3 smaller scale windows in the stucco, and then of course a larger, probably barn door is my guess, along this edge here. So again, as we jump back and forth, very faint, but you can begin to see in these photos, we tried our best, there is evidence of this. And then of course there's this question of like the entry door. It's a little bit unusual in this house. The entry door is pushed about 4 or 5 feet back from the facade of the house. And at the time of the conversion, it seems like there was an idea about kind of some sort of, I'm going to call it classical in quotes, some sort of classical detail that was applied to the house. All fairly cheaply made. A lot of this is 1x wood material, so 1x6s, 1x4s. And stylistically, in terms of architecture and history, there's not much other than sort of the flair of the designer, whoever I think put that in there at the time. So really not a kind of a direct reference to anything historical. And as we look at that, you can also begin to see like the outline again of like that original opening, which I assume was some sort of barn door. And so then how does that look architecturally? I'm just going to kind of swing through these very quickly, but this is all the 4 elevations: existing, proposed demolition, and proposal. I'll stop at any time if there's questions during this, but as we move to the east side of the house, sorry, the north side of the house, existing, proposed, not much to change, and how it might look. The side facing the river, existing, proposed, demo, and proposal. And the south side of the house facing the lawn, existing, demo, and new addition. And happy to answer any questions about window systems and all that stuff.
Your documents are pretty thorough.
Thank you.
I think I also appreciate the fact that the way you went through it was very helpful to us to understand, you know, side by side, comparing, you know, each one side by side. It was very helpful to me for sure.
Thank you.
I don't think I have any other questions. I'll ask the rest of the board if they do.
I do not. Yeah, thank you for going through the history and what it was, and it certainly looks interesting. I like it. No questions.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I think I certainly have that interest in how to read these buildings. And I think if I'm just going to speculate on why we volunteer for these boards, we have perhaps a shared interest. So yeah.
Indeed. Okay. There's no other questions. I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good to go.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Move on to the last item, ARB 24-17, 205 South Broadway. Also an addition. We see you.
Oh, good evening. I'm Christina Griffin. I'm a principal architect at CJ Studio. I'm also here with Lizette Garcia Elias. She is a project designer. Owners are also watching, Zara and Reza. We are here to present drawings that we have prepared for a renovation and extension of a very elegant home on Broadway. I'm going to share the drawings with you. Just a second.
Please do. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, can everyone see the drawings?
Ken?
Okay. I'm just checking. This is our site plan. I'm going to start with this. This house is built around the turn of the 20th century, sometimes called a Queen Anne home. It has a lot of character, has a porte cochere in the front, has a long driveway coming up to that entry. And what we're planning to do is to extend the house in ways that really keep this similar, the same look and scale of the house as much as possible. So we're in the two pink areas on the site plan are the extensions. The one on the left is going to be a conversion of the existing porch into a mudroom and a new secondary entrance. The one on the right will be a second floor addition, which will lead onto the existing second floor roof deck. Another component of the project is we're planning to develop paths and an entry so that we can very clearly define the parking areas. The end of the driveway, we're going to replace the pavement with pavers. We're creating low stone walls around that parking area. A new entry with stone leading up to the secondary entrance that we're creating, and a new path that links the house to the carriage house. And currently, right now, you have to go through the parking area to get there. So we want a very clearly defined and attractive way of connecting the two buildings. Also, we are planning to do an underground addition. We have an exercise room that is going to have a green roof, and it's going to be fully concealed so that there is no additional bulk from that exercise room. And I'm going to show that to you in a few minutes. I think now that we're on the site plan, I wanted to clarify the fences that we're replacing. On the north side, which is to the left, we are going to replace the entire fence with a new painted wood fence that's 6 feet high. And I'm going to show you the details of that. Now on the south side, the opposite property line, we're replacing a portion of the fence. And this is an old dilapidated fence that we're planning to replace with a metal fence that matches the existing metal fence that's already on that property line. These are just our coverage calculations. We received 2 variances for the project. And here are the photos of the existing house. On the left side, you see the porte cochere, and then to the very left of this photo is an existing porch, and that's the porch we plan to fill in so that we can have a new mudroom and secondary entrance. There are other photos as you go around the house, and then to the very right, just a second, you see the porch that we're planning to fill in. Sorry, I need to move things around a little. And then, as you can see, as you just go through the photograph, there's beautiful details to this house. And what we're planning to do is really make these changes harmonize with the details that exist and pick up on the details by adding, wherever we can, the same materials and same kind of details. On the bottom row of photographs to the very left is a sunroom. And on top of that sunroom, we're planning to put a second floor addition. This will give space that's really needed to the primary bedroom suite and access to the roof deck that is right off of that area. And then the middle photograph on the bottom is the carriage house, which is what we're, and in front of it is all that paved area that we're planning to replace with pavers. And we're also planning to add a new path to connect the house to that carriage house. Here are our 3D studies. These studies we did to see how we can really blend the additions into the existing home. On the upper left, we have an image showing the view of the porch, the one-story porch on the bottom. We're filling that in to become the mudroom, creating a new secondary entrance with a small roof with brackets. This little building has a half timbering detail that you see in all the gables. We're planning to restore that. Over to the right, we have a 3D model showing the second floor addition. And this is this gabled piece on the second floor. This will have a very similar roof line to the existing house with gables, brackets, and half timbering on the walls with stucco panels. We have a few more images down below here on the left showing another side of the addition. We have a low roof line with flared rafter tails to match the shape of the roof that is on the main house. We are planning to replace the railing on that deck with a more appropriate railing with turned spindles. And then the bottom right is just another view looking at the addition on the right on top of the sunroom with the new railing on the roof deck. This is our color scheme. This shows the porch on the bottom, which is going to be filled in to become the mudroom. It just shows how we're handling it. We're using Marvin Ultimate windows to match as much as possible the existing windows, the same Muntin size. The color of all the stucco panels will match the existing stucco panels that you see in the gables on the main house. To the left, you see the second floor addition on top of the sunroom. Again, given the similar treatment of matching the old gables in roof slope, detail, brackets, same half timbering effect on the facade. The color scheme is showing materials that are matching existing in every way possible. The roof material matches existing. The stone that we're using to the entry matches stone that we see on the site. This is another color scheme just showing the rear facade facing south of the second floor addition. Similar concept to the other facade with very nice panels for stuccos and the same trim details that already exist on the house. We're introducing a new railing to replace the old one that is dilapidated. To the right, you will see some images of railings that we have used on other projects that are similar to this. Actually, this is actually down the road from this house. This is another set of color scheme pages that we did to show what the view of the side of the addition with doors leading out to the new roof deck. The panels on each side of the door are curved because it picks up on some of the little curves that you see in some of the details on the house, like this arch in the middle of the house. To the left, you can see a little bit of the low wall that we're planning to put around the parking area at the end of the driveway. This is a brick wall that will have a metal railing on top and a lantern, and the detail of that lantern, the specs are over there to the right. This is our color scheme showing the entrance to the mudroom. As you can see, the existing house is here in black and white. Our alteration to the porch is on the left, and the low walls underneath are brick walls. We have a blue stone steps leading up to the entry. We have these pale gray colors that are picking up on the colors of the original house. To the right is our fence detail. We planning to have a painted wood fence. This is going to have a black painted finish, and it will be 6 feet high. It's a lattice fence by Walpole. This is the fence that is going to be replacing the fences on the north side of the property. And here are some photos of neighboring houses, just so you can see the type of houses that are in the neighborhood. Most of them are not as old as this house, and most of them are 2 stories with gables and some with hip roofs, variation of styles, and even a Tudor house here on the right. Here are our floor plans. On our basement level, we have our new exercise room. This is an underground room that will have a new green roof. We have New York Green Roof as a consultant on this project to help us plan out how this can work so that the top of the roof actually is all plant material and really blends in with the yard. We wanted to expand the house to add the exercise room without adding an addition or an additional bulk to the house. This is our floor plan, just showing the layout of the new mudroom and entry here, the new path leading from that entry to the carriage house, and the new paved area at the parking area of the driveway.
The parking area is above or below the grade of the steps of the walkway? Those steps
It's
are going up
below.
and
You're going down to the parking area.
Okay.
Yeah.
down. All right.
I mean, this is very important because right now, this new path creates a nice safe way for the family to go from that carriage house to the main house rather than going through that parking area. But it is up a few, I think it's about 30 inches from the driveway.
Okay.
This is our second floor plan showing the primary bedroom, the new dressing room with the door that leads to the roof deck. So our attic plan. Here are our black and white 2D elevations, just showing all the notes for the materials. Sorry, this one is the, again, the mudroom that's currently a porch off the kitchen here to the right, the second floor addition on the left over the sunroom. This elevation we showed you in the color scheme. Same elevation, another elevation of that second floor addition. And here are our details of the fence with the gate. We're planning to have a gate that lines up with the easement that is on the property. And I could show you that on the site plan if you like.
Yes, please.
Yes, hold on. And this is, before we get there, this is a detail of the brick wall with the small railing on top and lanterns on the pillars. I'm going to just go back quickly to that site plan. So let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. Just a minute. So There's a red line on the left side. This is the northern property line. And right over here, we have a double door gate here. This is in line with a 16-foot wide easement here that exists.
I was gonna ask where that gate went to.
Yeah, this happens to make use of access into this area of the property in case it's ever used. These doors will allow any vehicle to come into into the easement. And the rest of the fence is a 6-foot high lattice fence.
So
Okay.
is that gate gonna be the sloped gate that we saw in the photos?
Yes, this one right here.
So what is on the left side of that? Somebody else's property? The easement. What
Yeah.
is-
What's
Yes,
there where you currently?
Yes, it is, I would have to, it is another property. I could look at I have an area map here and a aerial view that might help us see that. Hold on. Yeah, this actually is up against another property, but this is an easement so that if there's ever any need for access, we do have a gate there.
How would you access that?
So
I,
you,
maybe Lizette,
This is
can you fill us in on any of this? Do you know
Yes,
anything?
so
Yes,
that's going up Ardsley Avenue. So you actually go up Ardsley Avenue, you make a right into that easement, and then you have
That is a
access
street.
off of Ardsley.
So that's a street.
Yes, but it's correct. Yes, the easement is between houses, but it's off
But-
Ardsley.
it's between another property. But it is an
Right.
easement that would allow access all the way from Ardsley Avenue through the next door neighbor's property into this property.
So it's a paved alleyway.
That's right. It's currently open. There's no gate now.
Could
Okay.
you
Oh, sorry.
focus on that? No, you don't have to go stay there. Focus on the railings that are on those decks.
Yes, hold on.
I'm sorry, unless you were not finished with your presentation.
I'm almost finished. I just
right.
wanted to show you an image of the railing. Just a second. Okay, so that's the fence we spoke about. And we have some photographs of the fences if we want to go back to that. To answer your question about the railing, we gave you, I'm going to stop the share and move to the material packet that we submitted, which I hope you were able to look at. In that package are the details that we have of that railing. Here we go. Do you see the drawing? Do you see the image here?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try this again. You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this railing is made by Architectural Elements. It's a composite railing that we plan to have painted so that we have a nice soft painted finish. It just happens to have all these wonderful details that we feel are really in keeping with this house. Like turned balusters and very nice profiles to the newel caps and the handrails.
Okay, thank you for reminding me.
Sure. And this is the type of paper we're planning to put at the end of the driveway to define the parking area. And this is the decking material. It's called Zuri. It's composite decking. These are some details of the lattice fence that we're planning to put on the north side of the property. Here are some of our lighting details, lantern that will be on top of the the brick walls. Some of the path lighting here. And I'll go back to the drawings if you'd like. I guess the other thing I wanted to present is simply the green roof. We have lots of details to show how that roof will be handled. And we have a few images to show how this should look. There's a skylight surrounded by plant material. New York Green Roof provided these images so that we could help visualize what this will look like eventually. We're planning to make sure that roof ties in with the yard. And this is our lighting plan to show some of the grade level lighting lanterns we're using. And then the last drawing here is our planting plan.
I will assume that the lighting is all dark sky compliant.
Yes. Yes.
Could you
So-
just give a little more detail to the green roof? That was my last question as far as really getting into the details. I know it's not an architectural issue, but
Okay, this green roof has been designed so that there is a reinforced concrete structure, and it's going to hold up a plant material. Our consultants from Green Roof have specified exactly what kind of growing media is necessary. We feel confident with their experience that we can blend the yard together with blend this plant material with the yard that's there. And our plan here is on the left side. We do have some planting material on the edge of the walkway as a buffer between that walkway and our brick wall. To the right, we have a more of a grass material blending in with the existing yard. And we're also planning to save the dogwood trees, and we have tree protection details for that.
so the light going into that
Mhm.
below is against the building?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay,
It's a skylight. Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, we have all the details that they provided that we feel confident that this will be watertight and really provide a really lovely green space right above that new exercise room.
We know your eye for detail, so we're not questioning that, that's for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You've answered all my questions. Anybody?
Okay.
Nope. Okay, so I think we've heard what we need to hear. I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You good to go?
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
You too. Okay. There's nothing else that I know of that we need to discuss. You want to go over anything about the metamorphosis that is to be the ARB?
Probably after we go offline.
Okay. Anything? Yeah. I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?